Trees stood and dreamed of what they wanted to become when they grew up. The first little tree looked up at the stars twinkling like diamonds above her and said,
"I want to be a box, but not just any box."
She wanted to be covered with gold and filled with precious stones. She would be the most beautiful treasure chest in the world. The second little tree looked out at the small stream trickling by on its way to the ocean, and he said,
"I want to be a boat, but not just any kind of boat."
he wanted to be a strong sailing ship and travel mighty waters and carry powerful kings. He would be the strongest ship in the world. The third little tree looked down into the valley below where busy men and busy women worked in a busy town. She said,
"I want to stay a tree, but not just any kind of tree."
she wanted to stay on the mountaintop and grow so tall that when people stopped to look at her, they would raise their eyes to heaven and think of God. She would be the tallest tree in the world. Years passed. The rains came, the sun shone, and the little trees grew tall. One day, 3 woodcutters climbed the mountain. The first woodcutter looked at the first tree and said,
"This tree is beautiful. It is perfect for me."
With a swoop of his shining axe, the first tree fell. "Now I shall be made into a beautiful chest and hold wonderful treasure," thought the first tree. The second woodcutter looked at the second tree and said,
"This tree is strong. It is perfect for me."
With a swoop of his shining axe, the second tree fell. "Now I shall sail mighty waters and be strong enough for kings," thought the second tree. The third tree felt her heart sink when the last woodcutter looked her way. She stood straight and tall and pointed the way to heaven, but the woodcutter never even looked up. He only mumbled,
Any kind of tree will do for me.
With a swoop of his shining axe, the third tree fell. The first tree rejoiced when the woodcutter brought her to a carpenter's shop, and she was made into a box.
But not a treasure box.
Instead, she was fashioned into a feed box for animals. The once beautiful tree was not covered with gold or filled with treasure. She was coated with sawdust and filled with hay for hungry animals. The second tree smiled when the woodcutter took him to a shipyard, and he was made into a boat.
But not a mighty sailing ship.
Instead, the once strong tree was hammered and sawed into a simple fishing boat, too small and too weak to sail an ocean or even a river. He was taken to a little lake. Every day he brought in loads of dead, smelly fish. And what of the third tree? The woodcutter cut her into strong beams and left her in a lumber yard.
All I ever wanted to do is find the way up to heaven.
Many, many days and nights passed. The 3 trees nearly forgot their dreams. But one night, golden starlight poured over the first tree, and a young woman placed her newborn baby in the feed box. "I wish I could make a cradle for him," her husband whispered. The The mother squeezed his hand and smiled as the starlight shone on the smooth and sturdy wood. "This manger is beautiful," she said. More years passed. One evening, a tired traveler and his friends crowded into the old fishing boat. The traveler fell asleep as the second tree quietly sailed out into the lake. Soon, a thundering and thrashing storm arose. The little tree shuddered. He knew that he did not have the strength to carry so many passengers safely through the wind and rain. The terrified friends awoke the tired man. He stood up, stretched out his hand, and said, "Peace." The storm stopped as quickly as it had begun.
My dream came true.
For he knew he was carrying the King of heaven and earth. Then, one Friday morning, the third tree was yanked from the forgotten woodpile. She flinched as she was carried through an angry, cheering crowd. She was placed on the back of a man, and he struggled up to the top of a tall hill where the tree was planted once again. Sunday morning when the sun rose and the earth trembled with joy beneath her, the third tree knew that her dream came true. For she stood tall over everything else.
What? And all who saw the tree that day will all have seen it since, and see that was the way up to heaven.
Okay, we have two more songs, so hold